Phil Pustiowski here. I want to talk to you about the near future of the real estate industry. We're talking the next 6 to say 36 months. Now, I don't have a crystal ball, but there are a lot of economic indicators that make it real simple to give you an understanding of what's going to happen and what that means to real estate investors. Hopefully, I'm going to be able to use this here, and you'll be able to see it from start to finish. We're going to start at the top here. We're going to have a timeline. We're going to start at the top here. This will be kind of the 2010 range. And then down here, we'll go to the, say, 2013. Okay. Here's what's happening now, and here's what's going to continue to happen for the next 12 to 24 months. What's happened is this. We had the subprime meltdown where everybody that should never have gotten a loan got a loan, and those loans defaulted. Now what we're seeing in 2010, 2011, what we're seeing is a whole new set of defaults. And they come from two different places. The first place they're going to come from are all those interest-only and option-arm loans that are adjusting right now. And so that's what's happening. Really, that's going to peak right about here. That's the peak of that. And that I'm going to call that the Alt-A peak. These are loans that were put together in 2005, 2006, and they are going to be recasting or readjusting here in 2011 and the latter part of 2010. Those are for bigger homes. Those are more like the $500,000 and above, sometimes $400,000. And those are about to hit us. That's like a whole new wave of short sales and foreclosures, a tsunami really. Secondly, since we've had such low prices and continuing to get depreciating home values, the other thing that's happening, I want you to follow this, is there's a lot of strategic defaults. I want to star that as well. What's a strategic default? It means somebody owes more than the value of their home and they don't want to pay it anymore. That's a strategic default, and it's happening all over the place right now. And these things right here is going to really pepper from here all the way down to really, towards 2012. The strategic default and the peak of the Alt-A's. Now, the other thing that's happening is that, and this has really been built up right here, is REO inventory. There's a lot of inventory that's been built up because what banks thought they were going to do is this. They thought the simple solution was they take the homes back at foreclosure and they wait out the market until it gets better. Well, it's a year later, it's 2 years later since they've held on to these homes, and the market is still depreciating. So what's happening is they've got excess inventory, you got a whole new set of inventory coming, and then you've got these, which nobody can really detect, which is people who are upside down who just don't want their homes anymore. These three factors are what is clogging up the system to some degree, but I love it because we make a lot of money from it. But this right here is going to dominate 2010 through 2012. Does that make sense? Okay, so I don't have a crystal ball, but I'm just telling you this is what's happening. And you don't need a crystal ball to know that that's what's happening. And what that means for you as an investor is you need to be prepared on how to make money with short sales and foreclosures. If you don't know how to do that, this huge window, it's the biggest window for opportunity you'll probably ever see in your entire life in real estate. It's going to pass you by if you don't know how to do short sales and foreclosures. I'm going to write that down, short sales and foreclosures. So, but what's going to happen after that is this, is what we see. And again, this is really getting more long range, but just follow me here. Once this has been cleaned out basically, and it's back to normal levels. When I say normal levels, right now 50% of all transactions in America, real estate, are either a short sale or foreclosure. 50%. That's up from 5% just a couple years ago. I mean, dramatic changes. Some markets are even bigger. I just read an article that said parts of Florida, up to 80% of all homes on the market are short sales or foreclosures. So this is going to take a couple years to get cleaned out, back to normal. And then you're going to hit the 2012, 2014 range. And when you get down to here, what's going to start to pick back up, what we see is there's the bottoming of the market. Most experts agree is going to hit us about the end of 2010, early 2011. That's going to be about the bottom of the market. And then it's going to start to creep back up. But watch this. When you're in 2012, 2014, you need to be looking at not only still there's going to be a short sale and foreclosure, But that's when you really want to start looking at lease purchases and subject twos. And here's why. And as well as wholesale. What's going to happen is these houses are going to appreciate, and people would have gotten loans at the bottom of the market. So these houses are going to have equity in them, and they're going to be great loans because most of them are government or government subsidized loans that have super low interest rates. I mean, right now our interest rates are like 5% right now. So super low interest rates, buying homes at bargain basement prices, means that a couple years from now, when these people are defaulting on their loans, which always a certain percentage will, these strategies are really going to come in handy, and wholesale. Does that make sense? Hopefully you can see that at the bottom there. So right here, the next 2 years is going to be all about short sales and foreclosures. After that, it's going to be a huge, huge opportunity for lease purchase, subject to, and wholesale. If you don't know what those things are, we've got a whole lot more information on what that is. And you can definitely check that out. You can Google that. You can learn about what these subjects are. The key here is to keep in mind that the next 2 years, you need to be focused on how to do these things. Because if you're not in the game. You're just not in the game. And then after that, you need to be prepared to know how to do this stuff. Because those deals are going to come at you and they're going to be gorgeous. Does that make sense? Okay, so that is the near future of real estate as we see it based on all the economic indicators that we can get our hands on. And you'll find that if you do enough research, the big players are going to agree with us. Okay? All right, great. I'm Phil Pustiowski, and thanks for being on here.